I make big boss moves, any obstacle I'm through. They be hating and it's true, there be problems but it's cool. I make big boss moves, any obstacle I'm through. They be hating and it's true, there be problems but it's cool. I make big boss moves, any obstacle I'm through. They be hating and it's true, there be problems but it's cool. There'll be problems but it's cool. Anytime they wanna come at me, I'll take them back to school. Anytime they wanna run at me, a ninja ain't no tool. Anyone that has a problem can go back and get a clue. Anyone that has a target on their face before I'm through. An assassin on the mic and then I never miss my cue. Straight up ninja, it's a battle when I really see the view. Keep it on the grind and we doing something new. I make big boss moves, any obstacle I'm through. They be hating and it's true, there be problems but it's cool. I make big boss moves, any obstacle I'm through. They be hating and it's true, there be problems but it's cool. I make big boss moves, any obstacle I'm through. They be hating and it's true, there be problems but it's cool. Power moves, make boss moves.
Yeah. We got another Ninja Hits podcast. What's up, fam?
What's up, man?
Building.
Oh, enjoying a beautiful day out here in Oregon.
Nice.
It's like super beautiful, bro.
That's dope.
Yeah. So we got this is gonna be the first episode of the book series that I'm gonna be doing. It's called America Has Fallen with Ninja. On a Sabbath. Happy Sabbath, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day, enjoying the outdoors and being safe. So I got to give you guys a little backstory about this book before we begin diving into it. So in 2015, I was sitting in a prison cell, and an audible voice spoke to me and taught me this book and told me to go out and tell people about it. And I have been sitting on it for a long time, trying, how to come to the courage to come out and tell people about these words. It's going to get a little deep, a little dark, and it's going to be something that a lot of people are going to probably not understand right away. But like I say in everything I do, and when I speak, if you want to go research it out for yourself, because this stuff is coming to pass soon and in our world. And I think everybody in our nation needs to be prepared for what is about to take place. So this book has a lot of prophecies in it. We're going to discuss from the Old Testament to the New Testament. Probably going to have a part 2 of it too, because it's really long and it kind of turns into a scroll when we go line by line. So we're just going to read a little bit of it today, and then we'll go back to it next weekend. But so I'm going to start. This is the introduction. It's called Nowadays Jeremiah Message. For those who do not know who Jeremiah was, he was a prophet. When Israel went into Babylonian captivity, they were in there for 70 years, and Jeremiah was in captivity, and he wrote messages for a future generation. So that's just a little bit of a backstory of that. And so we're kind of heading to captivity right now in a lot of ways. In the same way Jeremiah was in Jeremiah's day, he saw a nation that had backslidden so far away from the Creator that everyone was doing what they wanted. Nobody wanted to listen. Everybody wanted to just live their own life. And then sudden destruction came upon them, and bad things took place. So it's like history is repeating itself right now. This is let me just read this. It says, "I have dreaded writing the words of this book you are about to read and we're about to discuss, but time is short and its fulfillment is swiftly approaching. This message is bitter in my stomach and it breaks my heart, but I am commanded to prophesy this final message. So citizens of this nation are prepared to walk through the tribulation period just over the horizon that is hidden in prophecy." So we're going to go to Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. If you guys got a Bible, follow along with me. This is where Daniel, who was also in captivity, wrote about the final generation and what it's going to be like. And I'll let you
said
read it.
Daniel chapter 12, verse what?
Yep. Verse 1.
Verse 1? Okay. You want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Daniel chapter 12, verses 1. At that time, Michael shall stand up, the great prince who stands watch over the sons of your people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that time. And at that time, your people shall be delivered, everyone who is found written in the book.
So this is a time of tribulation that has never been in human history ever. Like this is going to be a generation that is going to witness some of the darkest things that has ever happened. Even before the flood, it don't compare to what's coming. So that's really powerful. But it says that his people get delivered during this time, like get protected, delivered, enlightened during the worst time in human history. Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. So now let's go to Revelation 10, 9 through 11. And it's another couple verses about this. And this is another person. Yep, Revelation 10, 9 through 11.
You want me to read it?
I'll read this one.
Okay.
So it says, and I went to the messenger and said to him, give me the little book. Ironically, it's this is John speaking on an island, and he was given a book by an angel to preach to people. And he said to me, take and eat it. It will make your stomach bitter, but it will be as sweet as honey in your mouth. And I took this little book out of the messenger's hand, and I ate it, and it was as sweet as honey in my mouth. But when I had eaten it, my stomach became bitter. And he said to me, you have to go and prophesy again concerning many peoples and nations and tongues and sovereigns. So angel gives John a book, and he is to go prophesy to the nations, people, tongues, and languages. Now, John never did that. This book came to John. He never actually went and did that because he was marooned on an island himself. So this is for a future generation of people who are going to receive messages from messengers, and they're going to have to go and prophesy to the nations about what they had received. And it's going to be a bitter message. So that's how this book came about. This is an angel came and gave me a book and told me to go prophesy to the nations, which is what I'm doing in this podcast right now. So then we're going to go to Amos 3:7.
Amos
3:7, yep.
Okay, I'm there.
Go ahead and read that one.
Okay, Amos 3:7. Surely the Lord does nothing unless he reveals his secret to his servants, the prophets.
Okay, so what is Yah about to do? He when he's about to do something, he tells who? Prophets. People who are messengers. He gives them a message, and their function is what? To go forth and tell people something before something happens, right?
Right.
So, like, yep. So that's what prophesying is. If people don't know what that is, that's to speak forth a message not of your own. Like it's a trip. If you start prophesying and it starts coming to pass, it'll start freaking you out. Let me tell you. I have gone through it since 2015, so it's pretty freaky experience. Yeah. All right, so I have been selected as a prophet to speak revelations of judgment, correction, and woe to this present generation, the descendants of the house of Israel, who are dwelling among the Gentile nations, who have forsaken Yahuwah and his law to worship false Elohim, who pretend to be the Most High. So a lot of people in our nation are worshiping other gods. even among Christianity. They don't know they're doing it. They think they're doing the right thing, but they're not. They've been deceived. People have been deceived. We've learned last time we were on a podcast together, we learned that the whole world is deceived by the devil. The whole world. So if you think that you are above being deceived to worship a demon, you better think again, because a lot of the false deities in religion, Allah, Buddha, Jehovah, those are all deities. Those are all demons that are attached to pagan worship. So, and even Jesus comes from Zeus in history. So 500 years, we talked about the sacred name in the Sacred Name podcast, where the name Jesus comes from, and it's literally it's 500 years old, and it comes from Zeus. So when you say the words Lord, Baal, Buddha, Allah, Jesus, any of these deities, without even knowing it, you are using your lips to magnify a demon, and you are breaking one of the 10 commandments, which is do not blaspheme the name of Yah. Okay, so Isaiah 14, 12 through 15. Why is this happening? Why is there a system of religion, and what is the purpose of it? What is it meant to do? And that is and why is it set in motion? That's in Isaiah 14, 12 through 15. We learn this.
You said Isaiah 14?
Yeah, Isaiah 14, 12 through 15.
Okay, I'm there.
I'm gonna read it out of mine, but I gotta get to it real quick. Hold on. My Bible's set up a whole way differently. I'm not used to the way the layout of the books are.
Right.
Okay, so Isaiah, what was it? Isaiah 14,
12 through 15.
Yep. All right, so this is the fall of Lucifer. This is where Lucifer fell, and it describes his fall, and it describes what he wanted to do and what made him fall. So it says, how you have fallen from heaven, Hallel, son of the morning. You have been cut down to the ground. You have laid low the Gentiles, us, right? He had control over the Gentiles, and you laid us low. For you have said in your heart, let me go up into the heavens, let me raise my throne above the stars of all, and let me sit in the mount of the meeting on the sides of the north. Let me go above the heights of the clouds, and let me be like the Most High. There it is. What does he want? He wants to be like the Most High. So he is a counterfeiter. He counterfeits everything to be worshipped. And you're not going to worship the devil outright unless you're just an evil person and you just want to get involved in doing that just because you want to. But most people are not just going to meet the devil and he's going to be like, hey, yeah, here I am, worship me. No, he's going to come in subtly, craftily, and he's going to do it in a way that you're not going to see it coming. You're not going to know that you're actually worshiping the devil when you're worshiping him. You know what I'm saying? So, and those who see you, oops, what happened?
Uh-oh. I guess we lost him. He'll be back. He was talking about Sheol, to the lowest depths of the pit. Yeah, you should be brought down to Sheol. He's talking about Lucifer. And he said, Shabbat, I guess is what he said. I don't know, something like that. But it says, how are you falling? In my book, my Bible, it says this, the fall of Lucifer. How are you fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How are you cut down to the ground, you who weaken nations? For you have said in your heart, I will ascend to the heaven, I will exalt my name, my throne above the stars of God. There he is.
See, I go talking about him and he tries to kick me off. Literally. Man, that's crazy, man. That's messed up. Anyways, back to what we were saying. He wants to be like the Most High. And that's what I wanted people to read in that. Now, it warns us in 2 Thessalonians 2:3-4 that there is coming a time when people are going to worship a man. Okay, bear this in mind, a man who everybody in the world talks about in some way, shape, or form. And I'm going to give you a hint who this man is. He's white, he's on paintings, and everybody in the world in churches are worshiping him. Even Muslims recognize him. And his followers preach a lawless gospel that the law is done away with. We don't have to follow any commandments of the Old Testament. That's all done away with. You can do whatever you want, just as long as you're under his grace. I'll give you a hint. Who is this?
It's the Antichrist.
Right. Now,
Right.
anti in Hebrew means to oppose. So we talked last time about how Yahusha is the true name of the Most High. Like he is the name above all names, right?
Yeah.
But we also talked about how there's a system in motion that counterfeited everything that the Messiah did. And when you're caught up in that system, they got their own Bibles, they got their own days of worship, they got their own holidays, they got their own image of the Messiah, they got everything, right? But is that the actual truth? Like, or is it just something they conjured up? Is it a delusion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in 2 Thessalonians, do you want to read that, Ninja?
It's 2:1-4.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
2:3-4. Sorry.
3-4.
Yeah.
It says, "Let no one deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away comes first, and the man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he sits as God in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds like an
Okay.
Antichrist.
Now put this into perspective. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We just read in Isaiah, Satan wants to be worshipped.
Mm-hmm.
Baal in the Old Testament in Hebrew means Lord. Lord is all the way through the New Testament and the Old Testament. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And his goal, Baal, is short for Beelzebub, which is another name for the devil. So we got King James Version Bibles, NIV, NLT, any other new Bibles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they all got Lord in them, all of them. Okay, you got pastors preaching at the altar, Lord, on a Lord's Day, which is Sunday, which Lord means Baal, Baal means Satan, so it's Satan's day, right? So you got them all preaching a lawless gospel, right? And he is using Jesus, the image of this white man that is actually from Rome. It is not actually what the Messiah looks like, because the Messiah I've discussed with people, is actually black. He's not white. He's not Caucasian. He did not come from our nation. He came from a Middle Eastern country and over in Africa, like in the area of Africa, right? Historically. So we got an entire system that is stealing worship away from Yahuwah, because nobody has a Bible in America with the name Yahuwah in it unless you seek it out. So you're saying Lord, and when you're saying Lord, you're saying Baal, and when you're saying Baal, you're saying the devil. So all the people who are saying Lord, 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 Lord are actually saying Satan, 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 and they're worshiping a false Messiah who pretends to be the Most High. And all the followers of this religion say that Jesus is the Most High. So if Jesus is 500 years old and that's not the actual name of the Messiah, and we have Bibles that aren't actually saying the real name of the Messiah, then what are we under? The spirit of the Antichrist, right? We're being deceived. We're worshiping, and we're worshiping with our lips and our minds and our hearts. We're worshiping counterfeit, like literally. And this is why it says, "Do not be deceived."
Yeah.
In the end, the falling away has to happen first. The falling away is here. Like, everyone has been falling away from the true faith for a counterfeit one. All of us have been marching to the sound of that drum. in some way, shape, or form, right?
Right.
So 2 Corinthians 4:4 says, who is behind this? And this is where the term God comes from. If you say God, you're saying the devil, because God is short for Godriel. Godriel is the actual name for Lucifer, found in the book of Enoch. He is the god of mammon, the god of money, and he has control over the kingdoms of man right now. And we also discussed in another podcast his little fingerprints on all of our monuments in America, the Statue of Liberty, our money. We see this term in this verse in 2 Corinthians 4:4.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay, go ahead and read it.
2 Corinthians 4:4. Well, I think you got to start with 3. It says, but even if our gospel is veiled, it is veiled to those who are perishing, for whose minds the God of this age has blinded, who do not believe, lest the light of the gospel of the glory of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine on them.
Okay, 2 things in this verse. The God of this age is who? Satan.
Right.
What does he have power to do? Deceive your mind, cloud your mind so that you cannot see who the Messiah truly is.
Yeah.
This is what he is doing in our country right now. Not just in our country, but the whole world, bro. Everyone is falling into this.
Right.
And they don't understand what's going on in the spirit realm. Like this is manifesting in the physical, but it starts and originates in the spirit realm, where he's operating on a massive scale. You know what I'm saying? So to understand what is happening to America and other nations around the world, you have to have the spirit of prophecy interpret the current events through the lens of the scriptures. So this is in Revelation 10:7. I'll go there real quick.
I'm there.
Look at you. You're like a script slinger, bro. I'm not even there yet. You're already there. You're like, I'm there.
I just turned to it. It was weird.
Yeah.
That one was kind of a coincidence, I think. I just
Yeah.
opened up to it.
I find it weird that there's a 7 in this verse, and I have it on my forehead, and it's a trumpet, which trumpet means mouth, speaking forth a message.
That's what this is talking about too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna read it. It says, "But in the days of the sounding of the 7th messenger, when he is about to sound the secret of Yahuwah." Now, Yahuwah has secrets. He reveals to who? The prophets.
Yeah.
Not everybody. The prophets. People who he chose to talk to and who he chose to bring about this message. Yahuwah shall also be ended as declared to his servants, the prophets. There it is again. The prophets. So the end days on the 7th day, or the 7th day we're on right now, the 7th messenger is proclaiming the 7th message, the secret of Yahuwah.
Wow.
That he is the Messiah, the true Messiah,
right.
The one who cannot be changed and that doesn't change, right?
Yeah.
So we are living in the final hour of human history, a time of fulfillment of prophetic utterances people will see come to pass right in front of their very eyes. Matthew 24:34-35. That's Matthew 24:34-35 for those who are tuning in.
I'm there.
All right, go ahead and read that.
Matthew 24:34-35. Assuredly, I say to you, this generation will by no means pass away till all these things take place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will by no means pass away.
One generation that will see everything that is written come to pass. One generation. And we are living in that generation, like right now, because a generation is 80 years, according to Moses in Psalms. He says a generation is 80 years. This started a while back, like a lot of this stuff going on. And we're at the end of that, like the final generation.
Believe that.
And when this stuff starts coming to pass, we're going to see it in our current events. We're going to see it in our news. We're going to see it all over the world, all around us. We're going to see everything that is written literally come out of this book and jump onto the world scene.
Yeah.
And it's going to get pretty scary. And it's going to get to the point where it's going to crush us and refine us. And it's going to make it to where we have no choice but to look up at this point.
Yeah.
So we are living in a demon-infested nation in the Bible called New Babylon, a land plagued with confusion and madness as a result of the lawlessness that takes place every day. Every human being in our country is walking in lawlessness. Now, what lawlessness is if you are a Christian, which is the number one religion on the planet, especially here in America, everybody wants to be a Christian. Everybody in some way, shape, or form. Witches want to be Christians. They're called Wiccans. You got homosexuals that want to be Christians. You got a gay Jesus walking around telling everybody, just come on, come as you are. We won't, we'll welcome you, whatever. And not come out of your sin because it's against what Yah says. Like, it's not being preached like that. So you got a conservative Jesus, that's a politician. You got all these Jesuses coming around being preached in all these different churches and denominations, but they're all living in lawlessness because, for one, they don't observe the Sabbath on the right day. They have pagan holidays that they celebrate, which is Christmas and Easter, which are dedicated to demons. They eat pork on Christmas, ham, and it says in the word not to touch pork. It is an abomination to Yah. To eat that, to consume that, is literally evil. Like it's lawless. You know what I'm saying? Heaven has a certain set of rules to govern your life by. And if you live by that, you will be blessed. If you don't live by that, you will be cursed. And those curses are found in Deuteronomy 28. And all of us that have experienced sickness, death, our children being ripped from us by CPS, that's in Deuteronomy 28. Witnessing our own spouses sleeping with other people, that's in Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28 is basically a law that's like gravity. If you break it, you reap a consequence. You know what I'm saying? And as a society and an individual, as a society, if all of us are breaking it, then our entire cities are in chaos. Like, there's no structure, there's no order, there's just disorder. And so Deuteronomy 28, I'm not going to go there right now. We're not going to read it. It's a huge chapter, but if you can read it on your own, read those curses and then see if some of them are coming upon your life. Because if they are, it's time to get in alignment with what the scriptures say. Because if he doesn't lie, if he says he's going to do something, you can expect your bottom dollar. He's going to do it. So if he said his words are not going to pass away, whether you believe them or not, they're going to come to pass. And I would rather be on the side of winning than the side of losing. So let's go to Revelation 18:2, where it talks about our nation and what is here. It's hidden in prophecy. And a lot of people are unaware that America is renamed in the Bible.
I'm there.
You just open to it again? Jeez, man.
No,
you just slow down. Huh?
Well, Revelation is easy to find. The book is at the very last of the Bible. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do the
Revelation 8. Revelation 18:2. Go ahead and read that.
Revelation 18:2. And he cried mightily with a loud voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen. Its fallen has become a dwelling place of demons, a prison for every foul spirit, and a cage for every unclean and hated bird.
What is it saying that our nation is? A cage for every foul spirit?
Yeah, every demon.
Every demon is where? Here, bro. Here. That's why there's so much evil here in our country. It makes sense, bro, because this is the birthplace of where they're at. This is where they are caged here, you know. So that's the name of the book, is America Has Fallen, aka Babylon Has Fallen. And if you see the in the very beginning of this podcast, on that graphic, there's a demon over the White House, because that is straight up like what's going on. Like, satanic forces are running our country, and not just our country, but the rest of the world too. Like, they're pulling strings and behind the scenes, and all of us are so caught up in entertainment or, you know, whatever, distracted, that we can't even see what's going on in front of us, like what's happening, until it's going to be too late. So every citizen is deceived by the devil, and only a small group, a remnant, will be delivered out of this kingdom of darkness. And if you ever been in the dark before with no light, you know you can't see 2 feet in front of you, you know? And that's what it's like being in spiritual darkness. You have no idea what is around you or what's going on, because you're in darkness. Yahusha is coming to receive a remnant out of this darkness and pull them out of this kingdom of Satan, out of the power of Satan, awakening them. And I'm part of this group, and so are you, Ninja. Everyone that's listening to this group can be part of this group too, because he says in his word, call upon his name and you shall be saved. But if you never heard his name, how can you call upon it? If you never had a Bible that said his name, this is why Satan got rid of it. So you can't call upon the true name of the one who can set you free and actually reveal who he is and what's going on around you.
Mm-hmm.
So this is in Colossians 1:13, about him coming and rescuing us from the kingdom of darkness. You need to be in something in order to be rescued from something.
You said Colossians 1:13?
Yep.
All right, I'm there.
I'm going to read it out of mine.
Okay.
Just real quick. Ow, I got to get to it, though. Oh, man. I can't tell if anybody's even watching this.
You tell me they're watching it? Well, the replay value, we're going to get some views later on, even if they're not watching it right now.
Yeah. Can you see on your end if anybody's tuned in, though?
Yeah, there's a couple of eyes on us. Nobody's said anything in the comments, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, maybe have. Oh, yeah. David Lippman has. David Lippman has said much love. He said kosher is also. He was talking about for your health. It doesn't have the toxins. Yeah, he said kosher is also good for health. It has a real purpose. Non-kosher foods have preservatives, chemicals, and toxins.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Shout out to you, David, for
he's throwing some scriptures out here too. Ephesians 6:12, King James Version 12, where we wrestle against not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual weaknesses in high places.
Yep, and that is straight up one of my favorite verses, bro. And I said that one of my songs, War Ready.
War Ready
Ephesians
song,
6:12. Yep.
We got that.
At war right
we got that right here.
What?
War Ready.
Yo, should we play it? Should we play it real quick? All right, let's play it real quick. Well,
You wanna
pause
play
for
it?
cause. Yeah, let's play
Yeah,
it for
bro,
real quick.
let's do it. This is already by contradiction.
Yeah. Let's go. Ephesians 6:12 says we don't battle against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces in unseen realms. Listen up. Stay war ready, young soldier. We in the end days. So lace up your boots and get ready for war. Let this be your anthem. It's a war out here, yeah. Fighting all these demons when they all come near. It's a war out here, yeah. So grab the Bible and just watch that evil disappear. It's a war out here, yeah. Fighting all the demons when they all come near. It's a war out here, yeah. So grab the Bible and just watch that evil disappear. I'm filled with holy fire to retire Satan and inspire a revival with the Bible hidden in my lyrics. I'm gonna make sure all of hell can hear it, so they just better feel it when I spit all this toxicness. I'm just over it. David and Goliath slaying inside of the pit. When I get up on the microphone, it's over and done with. I was empowered with this gift to shift the ballads in the music industry, rewriting a new history with Yahuwah crowned as the king. Better bend the knee, cause all prophecy is coming true. Heaven call, can you hear the ring? When he tries to talk to you through the speakers, put down the bottles and the needles. You were not born to be a tweaker. You're a heat seeker, and I'm training you to take out the targets behind the scenes that fill this world with so much misery. I'm calling out Baal, Buddha, and any other god that isn't the one who gained the victory for humanity. I'm done with all the vanity and eye candy, women undressing just to be treated like a celebrity. Where is modesty? It should be the best policy. Light flooded through the airwaves as heaven's weaponry to tear down the strongholds like telepathy. I'm not an artist, I'm an angelic soldier. Step into the devil's army, and no weapon formed against me will prosper. Now it's time to hit this chorus even harder, even harder. It's a war out here, yeah. Fighting all these demons when they all come near. It's a war out here, yeah. So grab the Bible and just watch that evil disappear. It's a war out here, yeah. Fighting all the demons when they all come near. It's a war out here, yeah. So grab the Bible and just watch that evil disappear. Yeah, I'm here to slaughter all the lies I really despise. See the fire in my eyes, I'm ready to die. For my faith and testimony, the devil owes me alimony from all the years of suffering he brought upon me. The divorce, the prison term, the memories I can't burn, and the multiple women he sent to try to rip out my destiny with all of them empty words. So now I'm flipping the bird, writing the scars in a verse. I will be real until I'm dead inside of a hearse. I don't need what the world offers and tries to disperse. I'll ride for the ones who were oppressed at every turn. When will we learn that we can't live this life without the wisdom found in the word, and have the blessings bestowed upon us on our terms, and destruction follows behind when we take a misstep. This song is all for the broken ones and outcasts and the rejects. I killed these bars, so show me some respect.
That's still one of my favorite songs, bro.
It's a
And it's so
war
fitting
out
to go with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's it goes with what we're talking about too, like the lyrics and stuff.
Yeah.
That was really a fitting moment right there to
That
play
was
that.
a fitting moment.
Yeah, so
we're talking about spiritual warfare,
yeah.
yeah.
So we're gonna go to Revelation 12:9. That's another verse that talks about the whole world being deceived by the devil.
You want me to read it?
And just so everybody, just so everybody who's tuning in and gonna watch this later, if you've noticed, everything I say, the scriptures are backing up exactly what I'm saying. Like literally, I'll say something and we'll go to the scriptures, and the scriptures they're written by different people at different time periods from different centuries apart that don't even know each other, and they're all backing up the same thing. It's trippy. But I did this book without a concordance. I was just told by the voice to write down specific verses that go with the lines that I'm writing, and that's how all my writings are. That's how all the books are that I wrote. They turn into almost like a scroll, bro. So yeah, it's taking a little longer to get through it, but we'll get through it. We'll go ahead and read Revelation 12:9.
Revelation 12:9. So the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was cast to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Deceives the whole world, and remember we read Babylon in Revelation 18 is this nation. It's the home of every demon. And where did his angels go? They came down to the earth. So now we got the location. We got America as the location, European Western continent as the location of where these demons fell, and then the earth is where they fell. So it's kind of crazy because we always think about hell being underneath us, but technically underneath heaven is earth. The heavens above us like down here we are in the pit, like where the demons were casted down to. So it makes me wonder sometimes. I really do wonder if sometimes these people who we call the elite, if they're not actually angels in human form, because there's verses in the Bible that talk about how do not forget to entertain strangers, for some of you might entertain an angel unaware.
Right.
Which tells us that angels can take on human form.
Yeah.
And so if an angel can take on human form, then a fallen angel can also take on a human form.
Right.
And they could shapeshift. So you have no idea if the president of the United States is actually human, or if these celebrities are actually human. We have no idea. Like, they might actually be angels shapeshifting, and that is what it says. And right before the flood happened, there was fallen ones, mating with women. How did an angel come down here and have sex with women and take women to be their wives without being able to take on a human form to do so?
Yeah,
like
right.
that's another example. It says, as in the days of Noah, so will be the day of the Son of Man. So the final generation is going to be just like the day of Noah. And if the day of Noah was full of these giant beings that were offspring of fallen angels procreating with humans, then what are we witnessing right now in our world if this is exactly the final generation, just like Noah's generation, and people are more evil and more apt to gene splice in labs and do weird abomination creations in a lab somewhere. We got robots that are now manufacturing a human child, in China. Like, we've gotten out of control with the way things are technology wise,
Yeah, they're like playing God.
So it's yeah. So it says false concepts of the Messiah and the God of the Bible reign to the point that no one actually seeks after Yahuwah, the true mighty one of Israel. Nobody. Because so many people are so caught up and confused, like, will the real Messiah please stand up? We got churches saying Jehovah's the real name. We got Allah saying, Muslims saying Allah is the true one. We got Buddhists and Hinduists saying like their God's the real one. Like, will all this confusion just please go away? And like, will the real one please stand up? Well, let me tell you, he is standing up. And so many people around our world right now are coming to be awakened to his Hebrew sacred name, Yahuwah. I mean, literally, my feed on my Facebook from ministries just flooding into my feed from people all around the world are coming to know the name Yahuwah. They didn't just wake up one day and say, hey, Yahuwah. They didn't just do that. There's some kind of supernatural power taking place, awakening taking place, where Yah himself is putting his name on people's heads, like on their minds, and that is like confusing the matrix. You know what I'm saying? Like, People are no longer walking in conformity to the way that they've been taught, and they're now seeking out what the heck's going on and where does name come from? Why are other people saying Jesus, Yahuwah, and there's so much like battle back and forth, taking place. And this is what the Bible describes in the parable of the wheat and the tares. The wheat and the tares, when he separates the wheat from the tares, it's literally him dividing people against other people, ones that are on the wrong side, the goat and the sheeps. Like there's another parable, goat and the sheeps. It talks about how they will dwell in the earth together until the harvest season. The harvest season is the final generation when the reaping happens and the angels come in and start pulling people out and putting the name of the sacred name on them. Did you know that in the ancient world, when the priests would go in and do temple service, right? They would have to sanctify every vessel that they would use in the rituals of worshiping in the temple, right? So the name of Yah would have to be placed on the sacred instruments used in the temple worship before it could be used. And that's what the angels are doing to humans. They are putting the name of Yah on our minds and then our hearts, and then that's commissioning us for service. Like that is, and then when that happens, you're in a whole new world. Like literally,
yeah,
I feel like
it's like enlisting you to battle, spiritual battle.
yeah, like and it's like he like lifts you up out of the world and he shakes off all this falsehood and lies and deception that you've been taught, and then throws you back in the world and commissions you and tells you to go talk to someone about it. Okay. Yeah, like that's real easy. Most people are going to look at you like you're crazy or nuts or like a false prophet or you're demon possessed. I've been told I was demon possessed when I told them how I got these books. I went into a church and told a pastor how I got these books, and he's like, no, there's no way that happened. There's no way. Yeah. Like, y'all don't speak like that to people no more. I said, well, then explain to me how I was an atheist, didn't know the Bible at all, and I got all these books. 22 manuscripts, 355 pages apiece with line upon line, and all these books backing up everything I'm saying. You tell me how that came to be. Like, how is that even possible? Like, and then how am I saying Yahuwah's name and then looking over in Africa and another person saying Yahuwah's name, or over in Chicago and someone else is saying Yahuwah's name, and we don't know ourselves, we don't know each other. Like it's like an echo, like we're echoing back to each other, and it's the trip. See, when I was under the name JC or Jesus, that didn't happen. Like that kind of power did not happen, manifested. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so when this happened to me, it felt like my whole world shifted underneath me. And now I'm trying to find other people that are like me, because trying to speak about stuff like this, it's like talking to a wall sometimes, to people that are so rooted in the deception and the falsehood that they believe their whole lives. Like literally, they cannot admit that they have been led astray, and that's the scary part. And that's how the war is shown right there. Like real believers, genuinely anointed by Yah believers, and then religious believers who are anointed by pastors or colleges or man, basically, so there, you can't fake a spiritual awakening. You can't fake that. Yeah, shout out to Apocalypse, brother. How you doing, man?
Mm-hmm. He says Yahuwah, creator who breathes.
And look at 777 on his thing.
Yeah.
And it's coming down, right? All right. Yeah. So Jeremiah 9:3-6 prophesies through Jeremiah's lips that in the final days, people are going to be led astray because of the pastors and because of priests and because of all the people who think that they are on the right path, and they're taking it upon themselves to be leaders to go and tell others about it.
Yeah.
But if you want to turn there, Ninja, I'm going to let you read it, because I want people to see in your Bible how it says Lord and how it don't make no sense without the name. It's in Jeremiah 9, 3 through 6.
Jeremiah 9,
Oh, not
3 through 6.
Yep. Yep.
Quick with it. And like their bow, they have bent their tongues for lies. They are not valiant for the truth on earth, for they proceed from evil to evil, and they do not know me, says the Lord.
Now, says Yahuwah is what that should say. In my Bible, it says that. A Sacred Name Bible. It says, and they do not know me, says Yahuwah. Because why? Because lies prevail on the earth. Like, you got a bunch of people that claim to know the truth, that teach the truth, but they're teaching out of a distorted, twisted scripture, and then they turn around and then they call it the truth. But that spreads like forest fire to everyone around them, anyone that hears them speak, and lies are prevailing upon the earth. And he made it that way so he could fulfill what is written. You had to be deceived to fulfill Revelation 12:9, like we read earlier. Satan has to deceive the entire world. So all of us start off in deception so that when we do get saved and the name of the Most High comes upon our minds and our hearts and transforms us, it ain't going to be on our own strength, and it's not something we can claim that we did. That's what the point is. We didn't save ourselves. Man is not strong enough to save us from ourselves. So, you know what I'm saying? So he is the one that gets the credit in the end. That's how he wants it. He doesn't want us to be able to say, hey, I went to a church service. I went down to the altar. I prayed to this name, this other counterfeit name, and I got saved. And now everything's kosher. This is why so many people are not living changed lives after they go down to the altar, get baptized, because they're not calling upon the real name that has power in it. You know what I'm saying? They're calling upon a false name, a false mighty one that does not save. But yet they preach that he does save, but he doesn't save. You may feel good in that service, and that may be to you a divine aha moment, like, oh my gosh, I feel, but your emotions can deceive you. In Jeremiah, it says the heart is deceitful among all things. Our hearts cannot be trusted, so our own hearts can deceive us. We can literally deceive ourselves into believing, oh, I just got a little bit of goosebumps, at this church service. That means that I'm saved, or something magical just took place. But no, he says straight out in his word, if you call upon his name, you shall be saved. But if you don't call upon his name, and it says in all these other Bibles, call upon the name of the Lord. But if you understand that Lord means Baal means the devil, then the devil can't save anybody. So why would I call on the name of the Lord? To be saved? Why would I do that? I want to call upon the real name that literally has salvation in it. Somebody in the comments had said broke down what Yahusha actually means in Hebrew. Behold the nail. Like when he was crucified, his name literally means behold the nail. So you know how doubting Thomas
said that. He said the pictograph for Yahusha means hand behold, nail behold. He was named his mission and destiny.
Yeah. And that's exactly what he did to doubting Thomas. Thomas would not accept him as the Messiah. Remember in the Gospels, when he returned to his disciples after being killed, Thomas was like, I will not believe that you are the Messiah until I see the holes in your hand. And then he said what his name means. Behold my hand and behold the nails. So Jesus has no etymology, no connection whatsoever to that at all. So that's why this is so important, that we know that people are deceiving all over the world, and we are caught up in it, and to know his true name sets us free from that matrix.
We're in the middle of it because, like you said, what this podcast is called, America's Fallen. And it's an introduction to the Jeremiah warning. Right here in America.
And Jeremiah.
It's funny, I see that thing that you said on the banner too. It looks like the devil, like eyes or something above the White House there.
Yeah. It's because, bro, like we just learned, Revelation 12, or Revelation 18 says this is a dwelling place of demons. Like America is not it is one nation under God, and what is that God? Satan. He literally announces it right on our money. One nation under God, under Godriel, Satan, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. There is no liberty and there is no justice without Yahuwah. Yahuwah is justice. Yahuwah is liberty. And if he's not in our nation, then how can we give liberty and justice to anyone? We have crooked court systems that don't give justice to anybody. We got people like ICE going around and taking foreigners off of our land. That this country was built on foreigners, and we basically threw up a giant banner for as long as our nation has been a nation to the rest of the nations of the world and said, come here and find freedom. Come here and find God. Come here and find the Creator, and you will find happiness, peace, joy. Come out of your tyrant countries and come over here and enjoy the blessings. And then they come here, and what do they find? A sword. They find military grabbing them and their families and throwing them in the back of cars and booting them into these camps and like throwing, they find the devil, the murderer, the cruel one. Like that's what they find here, in our system. Judges, they're perverted. They don't go off of justice anymore. You could be found guilty for a crime without a victim. Like I've been a victim of that. Like you can literally be found guilty without. It used to be you're guilty until proven innocent. Now it's you're innocent until I had that backwards. Sorry, innocent until proven guilty. Now it is you're guilty before you're until you're found innocent.
Right.
So everything in our country is reversed. It's reversed. It's backwards. So if you start looking at our world through the lens of backwardness, whatever the world is promoting is good is evil. Whatever the world is promoting as evil is actually good. You have to reverse it. So if you hear people saying go and drink, it's good, or go and do drugs, it's good, go and smoke pot, it's good. Reverse it, because that's the will of Yah, is the reverse. Be sober-minded. Because the adversary prowls around like a roaring lion, looking to devour people high off their minds, literally. Like we human beings are the devil's food. It's we get consumed every single day in some way, shape, or form. Our spirit, our peace gets consumed, our joy gets consumed, our families get consumed, our finances get consumed. Like, we're getting consumed in this nation. You know what I mean? So the false concepts of the Messiah and the God of the Bible reign on the earth. Okay, so everybody's got a God. They all know God, right? Everybody knows God. You ask somebody on the street, do you know God? I know of him, or I have a relationship with God. But when you start asking people, do you know Yahuwah? They're gonna be like, who? They'll be like a bunch of owls. Who? It'll be like crickets. Like, who the heck is Yahuwah? Now, how is that even possible in a Bible-believing nation that has so many Bibles, but yet they don't even know the one that's in the Bible? Like, how's that possible? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
no doubt.
like that.
Yeah, that's
Parker
what
said.
Parker said.
Yeah, Lucifer. Yep.
Yeah.
And how fitting is it that it's Lucifer waging war with the heavens, literally waging war with the heavens from the earth. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's been right in front of us this whole time, and we all walk by like, oh, nonchalantly, yeah, like it's no big deal. Just like people drink monsters, and it's the 666 emblem in Hebrew, like right there on the monster drink. But because people don't know the knowledge about it, they're like, what? They get caught unaware, or they just don't care.
And
Yeah.
I can share my screen too. I just looked up images of the Statue of Liberty. I typed this in really. I typed in Statue of Liberty Lucifer. And this is what I pulled up. You can see the similarities to the statue that they pulled, of statues that they found of Lucifer, the light-bearing angel with the light coming off his head.
Yeah, and what do they call Lady Liberty? The light, the light bearer.
Yep, the light-bearing angel is what Lucifer means. And it came from France. And I read this book. I started reading this book. It was called Egypt in America. And it tells you how even the history of the Statue of Liberty, how France had taken over Egypt for 3 years and then started taking out all the relics and remnants and stuff from the pyramids, which they had false gods. They were the ones that Moses was against, you know what I'm saying, in Egypt and all that.
Yeah.
But pulling that stuff out and giving them as gifts to like the king and queen of, and even the Catholic Church, it goes into that. It goes, it goes into so much into our dollar bill. You can see the pyramid on the dollar bill. You can see, like this proof of this, where the Statue of Liberty is, depicted.
And there's so many books out there like that book that have came out and said this outright. And people, when they hear about it, they're like, "That's a conspiracy. There's no way." No, it really is, because you got to understand that we're Rome in the West. Rome in the East is the Vatican, the Pope, right? During the Dark Ages, when the Protestant Reformation took place, when Christopher Columbus and his band of Marriotts came over to the freaking Pacific Ocean, over to Plymouth Rock, and started doing and over there in New York City, like, when all of our ancestors came over to this nation, right? They fled tyranny at the hands of the Roman Catholic Church in Europe. They were killing people for owning a Bible. If you had a Bible as a common man, you were getting burned at the stake. You were getting burned for heresy. The Roman Catholic Church reigned in the Dark Ages. The Roman Catholic Church is still reigning today through politics. Why do you think our president always goes and shakes hands with His Majesty? And kisses his ring? Why do you think all the presidents are always involving the Pope in some way, shape, or form? Because the Pope has ultimate authority and supremacy over what gets printed in America. The America Bible Association, where all of our Bibles are printed into press and put into our shelves in America, they are all solidified and stamped by the Pope. They have to be secure, like literally guided by the Pope's hand.
Yeah.
King James Version Bible came from Rome. 666 is literally Rome. So when you understand that 666 is Rome, and Jesus came out of the Church of Rome, which is the Catholic Church, and all of their doctrines are still passed down through the Reformation, in history, through Christopher Columbus when he came over here, and the Crusades happened with the Native Americans, and they were told to bow before the cross or die. And then, literally, and this is why a lot of natives don't like the Bible, because they have their ancestors passed down the real history of the white man religion that was forced upon them, or they would die, pillage. Like we celebrate Thanksgiving, which literally was the slaughtering of the Native Americans during that time. Every single symbol of the Thanksgiving table stuffing were organs going into the turkey. That's their body. Like, it's cannibalism. Like that. Like, they were doing evil stuff to the Native Americans when they came over here, all in the name of God. God, get it? Now it makes sense. They serve Satan. Satan's the murderer. He's the cruel one. So they were emulating the master that they came over here under the influence of. And then when they came over to the Western continent, they started. We're taught in church that the Western continent became the Reformation and that we broke off from the Church of Rome. But that's not true. The Church of Rome just replanted their headquarters here. It's not over in the Vatican. We are under a Roman system, a Roman tax system, a Roman religions, Roman days, named after Roman deities. Like we are Romans. Like all of us are Romans. We may be called Americans, but that's a lie. We are actually Roman citizens. If you pay taxes, Roman system. If you go to church on Sunday, Roman day of worship. If you say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, those are Roman deities that were part of the Greek pantheon gods. And then if you read a King James version or any other versions of the Bible, they came from Rome. All roads lead back to Rome. 666, the seat of the devil. So when Rome ended up expanding its influence through the wars, okay, a lot of the wars were financially backed by the Roman Catholic Church. Like literally, it was territory takeover. Like the Crusades were the Knights Templar. You hear the stories about the Knights Templar. They were assassins for the church. They would come in and they would kill anyone who stood against the church. And then they were knighted and treated like they were some kind of kings, you know, and that's where the Illuminati started. The Knights Templar, the Illuminati, the Luciferians, they all come from the bloodline of the Knights Templar.
Yeah.
And the Knights Templar is the secret society that our societies ran by. There's 22 levels of society structured like a fine-tuned clock. They have control over everything. And we witnessed that during COVID, how much power a couple families had. You would notice during COVID when everybody was forced to shut down their businesses, McDonald's stayed open, Burger King stayed open, Walmart stayed open for a certain amount of time. But everywhere else was shutting down their doors. Why were those companies? They manipulated on a mass scale. They manipulated the market. Like they allowed through this disease that they unleashed, the CDC unleashed. They don't want people to know that. Just like there's a new disease coming out now that they just came out with, and in Hebrew it literally means a lie. So they're saying that there's 40 cases of this new disease that came off a cruise ship out into America, and people are getting infected, and now the vaccines are about to come back, and mandatory curfews are about to come back, and just like during COVID, people had to comply or they were going to be punished. Well, it's happening again, and it's weird that they're doing all this, and a lot of people call us conspiracy theorists when we talk like this, but it's literally happening.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I'm gonna read a little bit more, and then we're gonna do a part 2 of this, okay?
all right.
So
Yeah, I'm about to
Yahuwah put these words into my mouth and told me to speak to a stiff-necked generation in hopes that some will listen and heed the warning from heaven. The house of Israel is not in the Middle East, only the house of Judah and Benjamin is. The rest of Yahuwah's people are citizens of the West. They are being destroyed spiritually and physically because they do not know the true Elohim and Savior of the Bible when they think that they do. Hosea 4, 6 through 7.
Sorry, where were you going?
A lot of this. We're going to Jeremiah, or hold on, Hosea 4, 6 through 7.
Hosea
4, 6.
That was a hard one. Where's Hosea at? Okay, I found it. Hosea 4, 3-7.
Sorry,
you said 4, 3-7?
Yep. Or no, 4, 6-7.
Hosea 4, 6-7. Okay.
Yep.
It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because you have rejected knowledge, I will also reject you from being priests for me. Because you have forgotten the law of your God, I will also forget your children. The more they increased, the more they sinned against me. I will change their glory into shame.
Well, that is crazy. Bro, the Christians preach the law is done away with. It literally says you have forsaken my law, the law of your God. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it says that if you do that, you will be rejected as being a priest. And you will be, for your children, the generation after you that is in our nation, they will be forgotten. They won't be blessed. They will be cursed. And that's why a lot of these children are in foster care. A lot of bad things happen to children in the next generation because the fathers and the mothers have forgotten the law of Yah. They have been taught in churches that it don't matter no more. Don't worry. I was just told today in the kitchen where I'm serving at the homeless shelter by a Christian that you don't have to follow the law anymore. You can do whatever. Jesus came to do away with the law. We're not under that no more. It actually teaches the opposite in the New Testament. It warns you to do the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the world tells you to forsake the Torah, obey the Torah, because the Torah, it literally in Hebrew means instructions in righteousness. So, and not all of us are perfect. We all fall short of that law. That is what sinning is. When you acknowledge that, hey, I know this law exists, there's 10 commandments, and I have fallen short on following these commands to the T. We all have. That's when we ask him to come into our life, cover us by his blood, and then teach us on how to start applying these laws, because we want to, not out of love, out of response for love, because we want to obey the Creator, to be blessed and by his presence, and to live a wholesome, good life. We don't want to be cursed. You know what I'm saying? So when he empowers you to start doing that, you're going to start seeing people not eating pork anymore. You're going to start seeing people not going to Christmas, Easter, gatherings. You're going to start hearing them bashing it, saying they don't want any part of it anymore. You're going to start hearing them use the real names in a church service when they're praying. They're not going to say the other names. They're going to start saying the real names. This is the power move of the Spirit, of the Ruah, coming into you and moving you to obey the commands. That is what the new covenant is. The new covenant is not you just live under grace and continue to do what he tells you not to do. You know, you will stumble, and then you repent, and you get back up, and then you just keep going. That's the point. You're ever growing into this. It's not something that you just wake up one day and you have it down perfect. I want people to know that we are not perfect. Me, you, Ninja, nobody is. The thing is we are chosen. He chose broken vessels to be on this podcast today and speak forth his word, and we both are not worthy to do so.
No,
but we are being faithful to do so. So I'm going to leave that. That's where we'll stop. Is that we'll pick up next Saturday for those who tuned in. Thank you for tuning into this. I really appreciate it. It's been a really good podcast, and I hope somebody learned something, because it's very important. People die from lack of knowledge. We just read that. People literally perish for not knowing. So you got to get to knowing.
Yeah.
You got to be in the know.
Yep, that's right.
But yeah, All right. Well, I'm out of here, brother. Thank you for doing this podcast, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. It was fun. It was actually something that I think we really need to do too, because people want to hear this. People need to hear this. So it's been a great podcast.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
We out of here.
I make big boss moves, any obstacle I'm through. They be hating and it's true, but the problems of the school. I make big boss moves, any obstacle I'm through. They be hating and it's true, there be problems but it's cool. I make big boss moves, any obstacle I'm through. They be hating and it's true, there be problems but it's cool. There'll be problems but it's cool. Anytime they wanna come at me, I'll take them back to school. Anytime they wanna run at me, a ninja ain't no tool. Anyone that has a problem can't go back and get a clue. Anyone that has a target on their face before I'm through. An assassin on the mic and then I never miss my cue. Straight up ninja, it's a battle when I really see the view. Keep it on the grind and we doing something new. I make big boss moves, any obstacle I'm through. They be hating and it's true, there be problems but it's cool. I make big boss moves, any obstacle I'm through. They be hating and it's true, there be problems but it's cool. I make big boss moves, any obstacle I'm through. They be hating and it's true, there be problems but it's cool. Power moves.